gentlemen, order in the court of public opinion. Today, we have an epic battle. It is day, represented by Sir William Chott, versus night, represented by Sir Phill Arensberg. Now, as we know, the court of public opinion works like this. The first round, each side has their opening statement. Round two, they get to poke holes in the opening statement of each other. Round three is a rebuttal. Round four is where I ask a hypothetical situation they have to answer on the spot. Round five, closing arguments, and then it's vote by you, the audience. So please make sure you get those votes in. As we're continuing this, if you are in favor of one or the other, or they make a good point, put that in the comment section right there. Let them know so we get a sense of who's leading and who's behind. I have written a number on a piece of paper right here, gentlemen. Sir Phill, I'll let you try and guess this number. It's a number between 1 and 10,400,000. What number do you think it is?
3.578.
Great. The number is 2. So you can choose if you want to go first or second in this opening round.
I shall go second.
Wonderful. Councilor Chott, the floor is yours.
Happy to start. Of course, that puts on full display the bravery always displayed by the darkness of night to shun responsibility on someone else more qualified to carry the burden. And so the daytime welcomes the opportunity. I'm here to argue in favor of the daytime, but not necessarily against the night. The daytime welcomes all, and a matter of fact, the night would not be illuminated at all were it not for the daytime, the shining light of the sun. I'm here to argue 3 facts, primarily: that the daytime is the most productive, that the daytime is the most welcoming, and that the daytime is the most healing. First of all, I want to talk about productivity. Would our gardens grow without the sunshine? Would our farmers thrive without the sunshine? Would you not be able to do your job without the sunshine? I put forward, no. And even if you did do your job in the daytime, in the nighttime rather, it would not be pleasant. The daytime noises include things like chirping birds, children laughing. That's a category of its own. Can you imagine how welcoming and joyful the sound of children laughing during the daytime is? Let's compare that to the sound of children laughing at nighttime. Almost a disturbing sound, would you not say? I'd also like to talk about when you sleep in, you get to sleep in the daytime, not the nighttime. And nighttime is a time when we take sleep for granted. We're able to truly enjoy that sleep when we do it in the daytime. When we're fortunate enough to have time off to do all the activities we'd love, but we choose to spend that extra time in bed during the daytime. So even in sleep, we're more productive. Which would you prefer? A sick day or a sick night? When I'm sick in the nighttime, I get very little done other than taking my temperature, taking medications, and waking up from feverish dreams. When I have a sick day, I can often find myself at the movies, taking a walk in the park, or kissing a loved one. Let's think about things like this. There are more adages about the daytime than the nighttime. Great thinkers of our time have preferred the daytime versus the nighttime. People like Benjamin Franklin, who said, "Early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise." Let's think about the term carpe diem, seize the day. I don't recall hearing anyone ever say carpe noctem, seize the night. And so I think I've pretty fairly proven my point that the daytime is the most productive, most welcoming. Oh, and I had forgotten to speak about most healing. Did you know that the sunlight kills the coronavirus? I close my case.
Wow, strong opening round there by Councilor Chott. We have a couple of comments in the chat section. Rob Andrus-Plord is good. He says, very welcome to see both of you right there. Several comments for someone named Colby. So I'll just let that sit right there with you. We have a lot of people who have been applauding those opening statements, but that's just one side of the story right there. And again, if you're watching, please feel free to put in the comment section the things that you're finding especially intriguing or powerful from our two counselors right there. Rob Andrus-Plord said carpe noctem right there with an exclamation point. Again, not sure whose side he's on. He just mentioned that right there. Now it's time to hear defending the night is Counselor Arensberg. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. I would wish first to thank my colleague, Mr. Chott, for his brilliant summation of the virtues of the daytime. It is indeed a time for productivity. Why, that's when we go to school or to court or to traffic court. But the night, she walks in beauty like the night. It is ladies' night and the feeling's right. Oh yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night. The night is a time of mystery, of allure. You go on dates at night. You go to the club at night. You go to mystery at night. And what then happens? Oh, it is gone, vanished as if a dream. And those dreams that which we capture at night are the ones we prize the most. No one gets things done during the night. It is in fact not a necessity. It is rather a luxury and therefore essential. It is a time of creeping murmur where we may either explore our true selves or in fact have a quiet moment in the dark with our spirit animal. Who can gainsay the night? It is where we discover new stars, new planets. It is where we boldly go. Now, there's nothing wrong with the day. It's a very sensible time of the clock. It's practical and a little boring. When I go looking for honeys at the club, I don't go during the day. I go at night because there are no honeys at the club during the day. There are only people doing their day jobs. But once the night comes, once we bring on the night, then may we, through opaque skies, see that much more clearly.
Wow. Wow. Right here, I'll tell you, if we ended right now, we would not be able to determine a winner because we had both sides coming out, both barrels blazing from their guns. Rob Andrus-Plord said cats thrive at night and sleep during the day. Again, not a judgment. I think just more of an observation right there from Rob. And Tom Needham says you go to the wrong type of clubs. Well, interesting. It's early right now, everybody. So sit back, grab your popcorn. We move into round two right here of the court of public opinion. This is where both sides get to poke holes in the opening statements of the other. Counselor Chott, the floor is yours.
Let's talk about some of the things that the night is supposedly there to enjoy. One of which, nocturnal animals. Of course, what harm could a simple bat cause? We all have such reverence for cats. They're such welcoming and friendly creatures. So I'd like to set that thought aside for a moment. Secondly, he talked about dating. What a pleasurable process. You get to meet so many, many wonderful people. Your situation is raised and lifted, and right now is a better time than any to start dating, as I'm sure the night would agree. Although it might be difficult to start a date at this time, and by this time I just mean your particular situation, which is celebrating the Disney Downtown Parade, which is obviously what your costuming and the background implies. And by the way, when you speak of the nighttime being a place that people most boldly go, realize it is always daytime in space and not night, and also that is a Star Trek saying, which a nerd like you should be aware of. I'd also like to point out a few different things about going boldly. One can't go boldly at the nighttime. One must go hesitantly. One cannot see what's coming next. One would hit one's head. One needs the light, and not just the light of the sun. Realize that the sun is a symbol for all things divine. Pardon me for invoking the holy word, but in Psalm 67:1, we are reminded, may the Lord be merciful to us, bless us, and cause his face to shine upon us. When the light shines upon us, there is nothing but goodness. And that includes such wonderful and huggable things as nocturnal animals like bats and possum, and cats, Star Trek and Star Wars, and dating. I rest my case.
Wow. Wow. I thought it was guns out round one, but round two, guns out right here. Summer Austin says, I would have said night before all these arguments right there. But she thinks Bill's winning for day. Well, Summer, we haven't had a reply yet from Counselor Arensberg right here. And Rob Andrus Plord said, oh shit, went Roddenberry right there. So far scoring huge points for the audience. And of course, the public is going to determine the winner. But we haven't heard yet from Counselor Arensberg. So let's even up the score. Counselor Arensberg, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Jay. Now, I would like to once again thank my colleague, Mr. Chott, for reminding us of what real dating looks like. Is that your sexiest bow tie, sir? Yes. And we all know there's nothing more alluring than the ability to quote Psalms as a way to pull the ladies. But of course, I will react with a quote from Houdini, who says, the freaks come out at night. And they in fact do come out at night. As far as my robage, I am a servant of darkness and in tune with all things opaque. And that might be a cause for hesitancy for someone who is afraid of the dark. That is very scary for you. I understand that. But for others, those of a sophisticated bent of mind or an open heart, the night calls with infinite possibilities, as opposed to the daytime, the realm of vice principals and assistant track coaches, the time for dentistry, for appendectomies and pelvic exams. No, it is the harsh light of day and not the cool quiet of the night. It is an unforgiving eye that peers down from a cloudless sky, not a gentle, nurturing moon. And so I pity you more than anything, Mr. Chott. How prosaic and boring must your quotidian existence be with your filofaxes and your meetings and your continental breakfast scenes.
Wow. I mean, to bring up Houdini this early in the match, well played by Counselor Arensberg. We all know the discos don't open till after dark, and it ain't till 12 till the party really starts right there. Shots fired on both ends. We're through 2 rounds. In the comment section, please let us know if you think Counselor Chott and his argument for day is winning, or Counselor Arensberg and his argument for night right there. Which one is winning? We had a comment from Phil, from Jay Ferrari, that's saying this is a profound examination that speaks to the duality of man himself, which I think is what we were trying to achieve right here. Moving on to round 3. After hearing that attack, you get to have one rebuttal for this. So this is our rebuttal round. Counselor Chott, if you'd care to, please rebut Counselor Arensberg.
I only wish to address a few quick points, one of which the nightclub, and the other of which the question of my bravery. I depend upon the daytime, because when it appears, the night scutters into the shadows where it belongs. There is no reason to fear the nighttime, only reason to disdain it. Secondly, when we talk about a nightclub, let's remember there are also day clubs, tennis clubs, swimming clubs, clubs where women might be, or other members of the opposite sex, regardless upon your proclivity, might be quite significantly less robed and of course I don't mean in the manner that you are robed, which must be quite fetching and quite alluring in a nightclub, but a day club offers people who might be a bit more healthy than those who are swilling sugared and alcoholic drinks versus those who are drinking juices, fruit of the earth, produced by the sun itself and half clothed. I rest my case again.
Whoa, he rests his case right here. Some really well thought out points made right there. The public is saying they can't get past the commitment of the character of the night. Looks like Burning Man is in the background. Bill would know this if he went out at night. It's all right now. Jay Ferrari's all aboard the night train, and Roseanne is saying nights. But again, it's still early. Councilor Arensberg, you may now rebut Councilor Chott.
No, with pleasure, sir, with pleasure. Let us talk about those day clubs you seem to be so in favor of. Who goes there? Why, yes, you're right. The sensible ones. What is more alluring than being sensible? Why, a country club, a golf club, a tennis club. Yes, you run with a rich elite crowd, all of which are a little too much into the status quo for a nighttime guy like myself. I prefer things a little bit more radical, a little bit more open, a little less rigid. But no, sip your orange juice at your golf club. That's so something, I'm sure.
I love it. Of course, it is so something.
I love the specificity of the night.
Right now is the time for our public. Please, in the chat, let us know based on those first.
We're ambiguous.
Yes, based on those first 3 rounds. Who do you think has taken the lead right now? Summer Austin said Night Train is an excellent liqueur, and Louise Thompson says Bill's background is a night sky, perhaps sending a mixed message. Yes, Councilor Chott.
You would know that because of illumination from above, and of course those things peeking out of the window, which are necessary to be viewed in the nighttime, light itself.
But not daylight.
And in fairness, Councilor Arensberg, I'd like to give you time to address your background as well.
Whatever the fuck that is.
I know it's awfully confusing to someone who is so mired in day-to-day boring life. This is what we call art.
Wonderful. To let you know where we stand so far, Summer Austin says that's so something I'm sure is a brilliant argument. Rob Andrews Plord claims hail ambiguity. Tom Needham just simply says night. Patrick McCartney says swimming clubs. Roseanne Nelson, night is my shining night. And Rick says just tuned in, so I'm in favor of dusk and dawn right there. Breeze Geyer, night rules. And Rob Andrews Plord said art right there. So that's just to let you know where you are, gentlemen, as we move into our 4th of 5 rounds. This is the round that I'm
sorry, Mr. Chott was making a Nazi salute. I think he wants you to pick on him.
Oh, were you? What was that, Mr.
Oh, no. I was raising my hand. I'm sure it must seem like a Nazi salute because that's when most of the rallies for the Nazi Party were held. Also, I won't get into it. There's no such thing as Crystal Day.
Nope. Let's move on. Let's move on right now into the hypothetical round. The hypothetical round is where I position a hypothetical situation. The two of you have to come up with your best argument for that. Here's the situation. Facts about day or night based on what side you're defending. These have to sound as if they're actually true. However, these are going to be completely made up facts, and you have to come up with 7 of them. I'll give you a few moments to think about that. Come up with 7 facts that are actually made up by you in this moment right here. While they do that, pick who do you think is going to win this next round? Do you think it's going to be night or day? Which round is this hypothetical round going to come to? Nika says, why do people only talk of ladies of the night and not ladies of the day? Wonderful. Summer thinks day is going to take this round right here. And Kathy gives us an LOL right there. So that's letting you know where you stand right now. Nina just joined us. Welcome, Nina, right here. We are moving on to our hypothetical round right now. So, Councilor Arensberg, since Councilor has begun any of these, some of these 7 completely made up facts about the nighttime that sound like they could be true.
1, there have been no recorded shark attacks at night, ever. It's only been the subject in movies. Number 2, at night it is impossible to get stomach cancer, proven medical fact. Number 3, 35 out of all the sitting presidents were born at night. Number 4, there is more sex that happens at night, and it is freakier sex than that which happens in the daytime per capita. At night, you are much more likely to have something delicious than you are to have something sensible. Nighttime clothes are funkier, fresher, and more dope than daytime clothes. And finally, at night, everyone's dreams come true.
Wow. Wow. Those, I actually did buy into all of them being truths right there. And I got to be honest, Counselor Arensberg, I thought you would be a lot more evil based on your attire. So that's 1 against me. I can't judge a book by its cover. You seem very sensible with your arguments and very logical.
Well, you know, still waters, Jay, still waters. I try to maintain a professional demeanor, even though I am seething with Lovecraftian lugubrosity inside.
Oh, fantastic. Counselor Chott, your 7 made-up facts that sound real about the daytime, please.
My 7 made-up facts about the daytime include the fact that the daytime itself takes its name from Doris Day, who is, if you would try to put her face to face against Gladys Knight, I can see why we would choose Doris Day. Gladys Knight couldn't do it without her pips. Doris Day, why she walked in the sunlight alone. I'd also like to talk about the facts that ice cream trucks are strictly prohibited by law to deliver at nighttime. You can only find an ice cream truck at daytime due to most local ordinances. That's 2. The third is that the sun is the only lethal force to take down our current president. After he looked up in it during the eclipse, he was destroyed from the eyes within and replaced with an imposter, which explains the response to the coronavirus itself. I would also like to talk about the fact that most trumpets run on sun power. If you're at a band concert or just marching about with a trumpet, it's being powered by the sun. And that brings us to 4, meaning I only have 3 more to point out. Simple facts that we're aware of. Did you know that there's always sunshine on your shoulder? It can be absorbed during the daytime to be brought out again during the night. Also, with an optional bluebird. That would be 5, leaving me with only 2 more, one of which is cowboys. Cowboys did nothing at all at night. Occasionally some saloon hall gambling, but most of their cow activities were related to daytime. That brings us to 6, and finally, the 7th and most important reason why daytime is better than nighttime is we're all living in it right now, even people on the other side of the globe, because when you wish upon a star, you're wishing on another sun.
At night.
Wow. We are 80% through right here. We've got one final round. Both sounded completely honest to me, completely factual. We have a lot of people in the chat who are saying, yeah, I would believe all of those facts. Roseanne Nelson says Doris Day, it might be changing her vote right there. From night, she's been a big night supporter, but now it's in the daytime. Rick says can't daydream at night right there. So again, you're stirring up a lot of good responses in the chat. And it brings us to our final round, which is closing arguments right here. This is the final round. And then after this, our audience will vote. So gentlemen, please also consider that this is your chance for one final plea and final plead to your watching audience. So Counselor Arensberg, I'll let you have the floor first in our closing arguments round.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. I want to thank Bill once again. It's really a joy to be able to debate ideas with a known pigeon fondler like my good friend Bill Chott. And Simply because he didn't finish high school doesn't mean his ideas lack merit or that his critical thinking skills are in any way impaired by his drinking and drug problems. But we must consider the facts. People, where does the mystery lie? Where do you hear that voice calling you? Where does it happen? Is it in the realm of parking tickets, bank lines? That doesn't sound like much fun at all. No, bring on the night. I couldn't stand another hour of daylight because the night is where it all happens, ladies and gentlemen. I can't define it. I can't throw a lasso around it. It is not illuminated in all the corners. It is primal. It is Dionysian. It is alluring, and it calls you, ladies and gentlemen. Answer the call.
Wow, an amazingly strong closing argument. However, we are not finished yet. Counselor Cott, you have the final words right here.
Thank you. I'd like to start by forgiving my Jedi-inspired opponent for the things of which he has accused me of. And I would just like to say that That's So Something was one of my favorite Disney reboots. And now I would like to close just imparting some sunshine on all of you by telling you, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. When you're voting, please don't take my sunshine away.
Wow, I don't think we've ever had a stronger close. Are you still going, Sen? I didn't want to interrupt you, Counselor.
No, I just had something to say to the night, and I've said it.
Well, now, folks, is the most important part of the show. It's time that you vote right here. So please, in your chat section, please vote for day or night. Jay Ferrari says, no, night, not ad hominem. However, we know in the court of public opinion, ad hominem attacks are strictly encouraged. Rick says you can only fondle pigeons during the day. Rama Valuri chiming in. Ooh, a police lyric drop for my favorite police song. Not sure if that's going to sway him either way, but it's good to know. Patrick McCartney says it's like watching Hitchens with a hoodie. Then that goes out to Counselor Arensberg right there. Summer Austin, Dionysian is a strong close. I mean, these are lighting up, gentlemen. You've done your job right here. Andrew says, oh my gosh, I love the nightlife. He loves to boogie right there. Rob Andrus Plord coming in with a very simple pow, which we all know is the biggest compliment you can get from Rob Andrus Plord right there. Patrick McCartney dropped the mic day right there. He's also weeping. But then again, we did not hear from Counselor Cott in the final argument. Bree says forgiveness, that's so day right there. Louise Thompson with a very simple yes. Tom Needham, go out with a song. What a wonderful ending. Sing Bill and this right there are coming in. Diamond Bill Cott, so far one vote for him. Day, another one, and day again. Day, so far four. Andrew with another argument for day. Louise with day and another day. But Nika coming in with night. Vote for day right there. Melissa says night. Always night right there. Fred says, so good you have to say it twice. No one says day. So I'm assuming that's a vote for night right there. Rob Andrus Plord is a sunbeam as we speak. Breeze Geyer voting for night. Tom Needham has been swung towards day from night. Good day, says Rick. Day from Sarah. Bill, looks like day right now is running away with it. Summer Austin and Jay Ferrari voting for night right there. Breeze voting for night. And so far, the votes have been tallied right there. A couple of last-minute votes for day and a couple last-minute coming in for night. We're giving a few seconds more right there. And we've got another night. Boy, gentlemen, the votes are coming in strong right there. Fred Seifert, he's voting the Chicago way, which is vote early, vote often, with votes for night right there. Another night is right. Gentlemen, this is almost too close to call right there. A couple from the day. Councilor Arensberg, really quickly while we're waiting for these votes to come in, how do you think that your arguments were presented and received by the public?
I think the night speaks for itself in a voice that talks to everyone's secret dreams.
Wonderful. And Councilor Chott, the same for you. I love your hat, by the way.
Thank you. I concur with what the night said about haunting our dreams. Another reason why I do not sleep. I'm looking forward to getting to a picnic after we're done with this.
Oh, wonderful. Gentlemen, I'd like to thank you both for being a part of this. You created such strong arguments for your side right there. We go to the court of public opinion, and based on a couple of very last-minute votes that have come in, it seems that the court of public opinion has ruled in favor of day versus night right there. It was a close call, a wonderful battle right there, but at the end of the day seems to have won right there. Before we leave, would you like to let the audience know where can they find you on social media if they want to get in touch with you? Let's say they want to take a night workshop, which I know, Night, you have offered a 10-part workshop on how to behave at night. If they'd like to follow up with you on that or just follow you on social media, what's the best way? We'll start with you, Councilor Arensberg.
I will find them.
Wonderful, wonderfully spoken as a true master of the night. Councilor Chott, how can people find you?
8 a.m. and 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. They can find me on my page. I was one of the people that shared this, one of the very first that shared this broadcast on my Facebook page. So if you just look here for shares, you'll be able to find my page pretty easily. My last name, C-H-O-T-T. I also have a website, The Improv Trick, and we're offering a 4-week writing workshop taught by myself and Eric Hoffman from this show.
Yeah, Eric Hoffman, you're both fantastic writers. He wrote, if you love Mr. Show and that sense of humor, then definitely it's something you should jump on right away. This is an opportunity. It's not going to come along that often right there. The Court of Opinion, usually every Monday, 10 a.m. LA time, Pacific Standard Time right there. We post this also later on our YouTube channel, YouTube/Today Improv right there. Feel free to send messages as far as what other opinions you would like debated here in the Court of Public Opinion. We've had cake versus pie. We had red versus green. We've also had cats versus dogs. And with every Court of Public Opinion, the two counselors strip at the very end. I mean, that is the way that we do it right here. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, Phill Arensberg. Thank you, Bill Chott. You two are the best.
I'll see you in the pool.